Hello, everyone. So, today I'm going to talk about 5 mistakes that are keeping your business stuck at the same revenue level. My name is Nazir Aval. I'm an international business coach and I help ambitious, growth minded small business owners to grow their revenue and double their profit. So, what do I mean by business stuck? If you really look at the word stuck, you will find all the reasons why your business is stuck at the same revenue level. So, the S stands for siloed mindset, T stands for tracking failure, U stands for undefined sales process, C stands for customer neglect, K stands for knowledge gap. So let me briefly touch upon the word stuck and what these letters actually really stands for. S stands for siloed mindset. So small business owners many a times say that I know how to design my website. I know how to hire people. I know how to run my social media campaign. So I do many things myself. And he or she doesn't want to delegate these known core activities to their team members or external parties, right? This is one of the reasons why the revenue is at stuck, because as a business owner, instead of spending time with your customers for strategic meetings, you are end up doing things that are bringing no value to you and to your organization, and you are not able to grow your revenue. Second letter, T, stands for tracking failure. And now I've seen many small business owners always monitoring the P&L that I've done this much business and I've generated this much profit and so on, but then do not monitor the cash flow statement, which is the real breadwinner, right? Because whatever profit you generate in the P&L really doesn't matter if you don't have that cash in the bank, right? So having a day-to-day tracking of your cash flow statement would actually help you manage your cash so that you are able to meet your expenses, you're able to pay your bills, you're able to pay your salaries on time, all the vendor payments, all the finance-related, interest-related payments, and so on, right? So keep an eye on all these, statements and whatever tracking. It's not just about only financial tracking, but also sales tracking, marketing tracking, HR tracking. So you've got, a lot of actions across your line of businesses, across all your departments, isn't it? The U stands for undefined sales process. Many times the small business owners say this: I hired salespeople and they are not performing, and I fired them, right? After 3 months, after 6 months, sometimes they are forced to fire them after 1 year, after giving so much of training. But if the training is not effective, of course they will not perform, right? It is not just about training, it is also about process. Suppose you onboard a salesperson today, have you got all the sales process or sales processes documented so that he or she come on board and really go through your existing processes on how to qualify lead, which industry to focus, what are the value proposition I'm going to talk about, right? What are our strengths in the market, what opportunities are we going to look at, and so on and on, right? So do you have that kind of sales processes documented? If not, definitely he or she will struggle in the market. They will also go to market and try and qualify leads. Sometimes they are not the right lead. They don't know how to identify the lead based on the customer budget, the time frame, whether their customer has a need or not. So they will struggle, right? The C stands for customer neglect, right? So let's say the salespeople generate a lot of leads, or your marketing department or marketing team gave you a lot of leads, but those are not properly followed up. Many times we have seen that the leads generated by marketing team is not properly followed up. So poor follow-up also can actually lead to lost business, right? And also directly impacting your revenue growth, right? The last letter K in that stuck word is actually very, very important. Knowledge gap, right? Not investing in skill development for you as a small business owner and also to your team members, right? Continuous learning should actually be there as part of your, learning process, right? And also investment, right? You need to decide that, certain percentage of your revenue is kept for educating my team members, right? So knowledge gap can actually also, bring your revenue growth at stake and also at stuck. So if you don't remove these obstacles, your business will keep dragging along, and no matter really how hard you press the accelerator. It is like driving with the handbrake on, right? Sometimes it happens to us, right? We think that why the vehicle is not moving, but handbrake is on, right? So you have that kind of feel, when you are driving your vehicle is nothing but your business, and then it's not moving, right? Revenue is not being generated, revenue is not growing. Yes, you're generating revenue, but that is stuck at same level, right? And there are studies that shows 67% of business owners work more than 50 plus hours a week, and still they struggle to generate or improve their revenue. So you can see that, right? 40% of small business owners do not track the number numbers properly. And if I may ask many small business owners that how many financial statements you do monitor. So mostly they say P&L, and then yes, some goes to the balance sheet, just to look at the accounts receivable, payable, and what are the kind of assets we have and so on. But beyond which, managing the cash flow statement on a day-to-day basis, and also most importantly, what is in it for me, and that statement is also not managed properly, which is the owner's equity statement, the retained earnings in the balance sheet, which is actually kept as a separate financial statement. And that is where I say that is a fourth financial statement. Many people say there are only 3 financial statements, but what is in it for me as a business owner? If you have 100% stake in the business, you need to look at your retained earnings, that accumulated wealth year over year, right? So those things are very important. And Peter Drucker once famously said, what gets measured gets managed. Very powerful quote, right? And I read somewhere an IT consulting firm completely collapsed because the owner was overwhelmed. He was doing everything. And after restructuring, their business grew 200% in the next 12 months. Amazing, isn't it? So that realization has to happen that if you are a small business owner, if you're doing everything yourself, there's a problem, right? So from this video, I've got 3 actions for you. The first action, stop doing everything yourself. Hire or outsource, right? If you cannot hire somebody who can manage your HR department or someone who can manage your marketing activities, then you better outsource, because you are not expert in hiring, you're not expert in certain marketing related activities, right? So give it to expert people around. They will bring the best people from the market. Yes, you need to pay some percentage of hiring, but that is all will get benefited once you start hiring through an agency, or once you start taking your marketing services through a marketing agency. They are expert in that area, in their field. So if you say that I am doing my website, I am doing my social media, I think you better stop doing that and focus on core business activities and delegate all the non-core activities to your team members or external agencies. Second, fix your sales processes, right? Of course, I mentioned to you earlier that document all the processes. And what is the tool to document? The tool to document those sales process is CRM, right? So within CRM, you've got lead management, opportunity management, contact management, customer management, email management, everything bundled within a CRM, right? If you don't have a CRM and if you're struggling to implement a CRM, come back to me. I'll help you set it up. Maybe it takes only 5 minutes. Sometimes for small business owners, thinking and talking about, implementing a CRM, it's a big thing, right? It's not a big thing. Cloud and software as a service really democratize technologies for anybody of any size organization can quickly adopt these kind of technologies within minutes. So come back to me if you need some support on that. The third, tracking your key metrics on a weekly basis, at least. Do not go beyond a week. And what are those metrics? You need to take metrics from your financial metrics, as I said earlier, on the cash flow, balance sheet, P&L, owner's equity statement. Those metrics are there. But then also sales metrics. Then how many leads have generated last week? How much have converted? Am I converting? Are there any challenges in terms of lead generation? Am I generating too many unqualified leads? What's the reason behind that? So those kind of metrics, you have to really deep dive and then measure and monitor. And in that metrics, the most important thing is the cash flow. As we say, cash is king. Doesn't really matter even if your P&L is very strong, right? In the P&L, it says, yes, you're profitable and you've generated this much profit in the last month or in the last quarter, but really it doesn't really matter. What matter is how much cash you have in the bank. So analyzing, monitoring and tracking cash flow statement on a day-to-day basis is very, very important. And you have to also look at your profit margins, your conversion rates from the lead, as I said earlier. If you need any support, any questions, if you have, please come back to me, DM for any questions, and more than happy to help you and support. Thanks for watching.